Here.
Ready?
Yep.
All right.
Me muted.
Call this meeting to order.
He's one of these.
So roll call.
Genslinger. Havlet.
Here.
Jerza.
Here.
Osterloo.
Here.
Schmitz. Schurz. Sonny.
Here.
Gosher. Here. We have quorum.
Okay, very well. All right, next item is the conflict of interest. Did you have any conflicts? Okay, so next item is to approve of the agenda.
Move to approve.
Second, Jerza.
Okay, we got first and second. Now we're gonna go for the approval of the previous minutes.
Hold on, we gotta,
Oh,
Roll
sorry.
call.
we gotta vote on that.
Oh, sorry about that.
Yep. Sonny.
Yes.
Havlet.
Yes.
Jerza.
Yes.
Osterloo.
Yes.
Motion carried. All right, do the previous minutes.
All right, previous minutes of September 23rd, 2024.
Move to approve.
Second, Jerza.
Okay, we got first and second. You want to do roll call all the time?
Yeah, but two on the phone, we'll just do roll call the whole.
Okay, we'll do that.
Sonny.
Yes.
Havlet.
Yes.
Jerza.
Yes.
Osterloo.
Yes.
Motion carried.
Okay, need a motion for the next meeting is October 28th, 2024.
Move to approve.
Jerza, second.
Okay, we got first and second and roll call.
Sonny.
Yes.
Havlet.
Yes.
Jerza.
Yes.
Osterloo.
Yes.
Motion carried.
Okay, the first thing here we got is the conditional use permit for Josh Frost, DBA Mitchell Towing and Recovery. Josh Frost has applied for a conditional use permit for outside storage and to operate Mitchell Towing and Recovery business, which falls under the category of automotive sales, repair, parts, detailing, located at 24994 406th Avenue, legally described as Lot 3D-1 and Lot 3D-2 of DR Tyner's First Edition in the southwest quarter of Section 31, Township 104, North R60, west of the 5th Prairie, Davidson County, South Dakota. The said property is zoned Urban Development District.
Yeah.
Mark?
Notices were sent out to neighbor, published in the paper, game signs posted. There was one response that was in your packet from the previous meeting that was opposed to it, and one that did not make, two that did not make the packet that you have in front of you. Larry, I emailed those both to you as well. They were both opposed to it. There were some comments on both of those. Let's see here, the applicant did drop off a plan for site layout for where things will be going. That was also emailed out to Larry, and it's in front of you as well on your table. As you recall, at the previous meeting, this board made a recommendation to approve it till this meeting with the conditions. Let me pull them up. That's why I left the minutes for the last meeting. For the outside storage, plan written on paper for materials on site, the location where the materials will be placed, fence location and type, and also schedule for when it will all be cleaned up and organized. And then Board of Adjustment made the same recommendation to hear at their second meeting. And then for the automotive sales, portion of it was a written plan on paper for location of vehicle placement, fencing type and location, business hours, and also a schedule for when work will be completed. He has presented his GIS photo, like I said, that shows where some fencing is going to go, the impound lot, things like that. Answer any questions you have for me. The applicant's here if you have any questions for him as well.
So do we, as a board, want to discuss it first or have the applicant come up?
It's up to you. You have the applicant come up, I'd say.
Let's have the applicant come up and state your name.
I'm Josh Frost, the owner of the place. I guess you wanted me to come up, so. Giving up.
So what have you all done? Have you put any fences up and all that kind of stuff?
I got started putting up fence. I got some poles in and stuff like that and cleaning up, getting ready to haul out a load down below of material. I mean, that's an older picture that we used. It's not like that right now.
Okay, somewhere on here it says that you've been adding a lot more stuff to your
That
property.
was a letter from the county stated that.
Yeah, and the county here says that, but considering the business was operated, okay, Mr. Frost should have been given a cease and desist order until the permit was approved or denied. Has anybody talked to you about that?
No.
The county has no jurisdiction for that. That's the city's jurisdiction.
So this is just a letter going to us saying this is
The only thing that came in,
from? Jeff Bath.
Jeff Backey from,
the only thing that came in is we haul for wrecked vehicles for different insurance auto auctions, and I bring them in, but they're all left already. Like, I'll bring them in, I'll put them in an area, but I've hauled them all out. Other than that, the impound area, instead of putting them over in the impound area, I put them in a different area, on the east side up top, but they're all hauled out.
so you've been following what was recommended from the board here that, what we asked for. You have been following that?
Yeah.
Okay, Derek Davis here. All right, so if anything has been brought in, it would be vehicles in relation to doing business at which we were granted already to continue to do business, which would be any impound vehicles for the Mitchell Police Department, and we haul for Copart. Normally, when they come in, they leave the next day, because we go get them from Huron or Salem or Sioux Falls or wherever, and then we haul them out the next day, or maybe at the very most 2 days later. As far as anything else that has actually come in, nothing has come in. As far as what we've hauled out, we've already hauled out a bunch of junk vehicles. We got rid of probably, I don't know, 6, 8 vehicles so far, at least. And we had a Quonset that he had tore down and was sitting on his property that he was eventually going to put up, that we had to destroy because we had to put it in the pile because there's not enough time to put up a Quonset right now and clean up the yard. So he had to throw away thousands of dollars worth of material for a Quonset. The plan, if you bring that map back up, the fence on the south side, there's already poles in place, that far south side there, that red line. There's already poles in place there.
There's poles in place on that, going from the shop, that Derek had put a zigzag in there, but it's actually just a straight fence there. It's from the gates.
Poles are in place there. The fence is ready to go up, but here we're getting a runaround from a lot of people. We're asking questions. Josh has been asking questions to find out what specifically is it do you want picked up, cleaned up? Where specifically do you want these fences? Because we started talking about this, and it's like, I have a feeling that it seems like everybody's against us, and everything that we're gonna do is gonna be wrong or not wanted. We've had plans. What we kind of want now, actually, is plan in writing from somebody saying that if you do this, 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 and this, then we will grant you your permit. We kind of want that in writing because we've been taking measures, making measures, doing things, building fences, getting rid of some stuff. But at this point, you know, he's been asking and not getting answers, and one person says one thing, somebody says the other thing. We don't know what anybody actually truly wants.
And then like the fence deal, like I talked to Wade, like going from where that red line is on the south side there, coming towards the road there, I mean, that dips down. I mean, really the fence, nothing blows around down there. That fence would be pointless, plus, I mean, in the spring and stuff, all that water flow going through there with the snow. I mean, he's already had water running through his garage since the first year he bought the house out there. Because there was no culverts in none of the driveways. And I think that's something that should have been done when the driveway was put in, but we put 3 culverts in, me and Wade did, to help that situation, but he still gets water, a lot of water running from the road, runs down his driveway, and he put in a pit so that way it drains out there. And when we had that 10-inch rainfall, he had water sitting in his garden, and that's on the side hill. And all that water runs down that ramp and on the bottom there, and that you think the water would run through the middle, but it don't. It cuts off to the east side, and I've tried building it up over there and getting it to run different. So I mean, I don't know where, and the roads are higher than what a fence would be. I mean, I'd have to build a 30-foot fence for you not to see nothing out there.
So you're saying you are
So-
making improvements?
Yeah, I am. I mean, I started on the curb view. I mean, before I go and start putting poles in other places to see, because I mean, I've tried calling a couple of the council members and talking that way to see what we need to do. And I've talked to Wade, and I said about putting that one fence in. I said, I don't know what your thoughts are on that fence going north and south, but I mean, the wintertime, it's gonna just be catch snow, build that up, and then it's just gonna back up towards his house. Is my thinking. I don't wanna really flood him out. So, but yeah, I'd post her in, and I mean, been doing it as much as I can. I mean,
Okay, thanks. When we made them suggest and all that, was anybody going to go out and check that, or?
It's on them to prove that they're doing what they're doing.
So we're taking their word for it. I mean, I went and drove by there and I saw the post stuff on there, some stuff like that, but it's hard to see what's in the back from the room.
The motions were for them to come in with a written plan on paper for the location and when they were gonna do everything. And that's what this meeting would be, for them to present that and what they have done so far, so that they can present some timelines for when they want to move forward with getting everything else. That was the motion at your previous meeting.
Right, and the intent with that is the facility with where it was at when we had last met was in a way that it's almost definitely would have been voted no. And if that happened, it'd be 6 months before you could apply again, and you wouldn't be able to operate the business. There would be a cease and desist letter at that point. So I understand your frustration. You're getting comments from multiple different angles of, I want this, no, I want this. Realistically, what we were looking for is for you to put a plan together of what you're going to do, give those adjacent property owners the chance to see that as well and say, yes, I don't have an issue with that, and bring it to this meeting so we can keep moving forward. So I understand your frustration that you want direction of where to go, but you know, that last meeting, we were getting you set up in a way that you could keep operating and come to us and prove that you're showing these improvements and move on from there.
well, we've been making them, so.
Yeah, well, the map's there, and I mean, that's we pointed out what you wanted to see, where their impound lot's gonna be, what we plan on cleaning up, and we want, I got it.
But, I mean, if, I guess Denny's here, he lives to the east and stuff, I mean, we talked a little bit this morning and this weekend and stuff like that. He'd like a fence he set up, and I told him, I said, well, a steel fence, or a tin fence, I mean, with the wind and stuff, and I said, if piece panel comes loose, I might not hear it, but it might be flapping and driving him nuts, you know? And we talked about, they have that netting or whatever that you put on like a chain link fence, and it blocks, they say 95%, like Cromer Plumbing's got it up on their fence. Would that be something that you guys would be, or that way the wind would go through, would you?
Well, the thing is we're not the one that's seeing it. I mean,
Yeah.
the neighbors would be, I mean, a fence is a fence.
Yeah.
You know, I guess the neighbors is the one that,
So if Denny's okay with,
well, if that's what, if his land abuts to it,
Yeah.
you know, that might be the thing, you know. We'll have a discussion with him,
Yeah.
I'm sure, here, so. But, I mean, if this is your plan, that you show us what you're gonna have laid out and what you've been telling us, I guess as the board would have to decide if that's what we want, so. But appreciate it, thank you.
yep,
Anybody else? Jenny, you wanna?
Yeah. I'm kind of used to this sort of thing. My dad passed away on this day in 1994. A week after that, we set up, at that time, Shank Salvage, to set a dumpster out there, and within a year, we hauled 220 ton of iron off that farm. So this isn't anything new to me. The easy answer to all of this for everybody is to put up a 10-foot fence on the south and east side. We're fortunate, my Mrs. Wonderful's got a broken leg. She couldn't be here today, and it's a good thing she's not. She's not very satisfied, but I understand that this is his livelihood, and everybody's entitled to make a living. But it is, I drive the whole length of that driveway into my place. When I first lived there, we was the only place there. The nearest neighbor was a quarter mile away. Now it's basically a residential area. And I think, I can't speak for the rest of the neighbors, but I would be satisfied if there was a fence up on the south and east side, a 10-foot high fence similar to what Muth Electric has, or Cromer's has up here on the north side, up on North Main. It's you can kind of see through it, but it does block the view. Now, I set up a lot higher than most of the neighbors. I have a complete view of the whole area. I was in the junk business most of my life. Doesn't bother me a bit, but I can see where it would bother the other neighbors unless it's contained. And I think if a fence was put up, that would solve the majority of the problem. He has got the poles about where that red line is, but they'd have to come south all the way along and then border. It's a diagonal line, right? The lot line's basically right there where the grass and the dirt meet on the south side. There is a little bit of a problem in that there's concrete under the majority of that draw that was hauled in there from the interstate. And it's probably 10 foot deep. It used to be minnow ponds, and it was filled in to make a more aesthetic look there. But I personally think that if he would put up a nice looking fence that would hide the obstruction of all the vehicles and there's a lot more than just vehicles there. There's all kinds of material, but it's material he uses for his business, and I can understand that. But keep it out of the view of other people. You know, there's nothing wrong with having a business as long as it's got an aesthetic view.
Okay, thank you. Anybody else?
Well, this is Jerza. Let me make a couple comments. What I was expecting when we asked for or discussed this a month ago or a couple months ago, I guess it's been now, but I thought we were going to get some sort of a plan that would show what the intention or what the plan is that they're going to do to resolve all the nuisance type issues that I guess are coming up, whether it's visual or noise or smell or whatever it may be, but this is primarily visual. I happened to go by the site when I was there in September, early September, and yeah, it's kind of a hodgepodge mess, which you know, it probably took a long time to make, so I'm sure it's going to take a long time to clean up. But I think the thing that Mr. Kiner was talking about here just a few minutes ago, either clean it up or screen it off where someone can't see it, is probably the solution to the problem. But I think we as a planning commission need to see what that plan is on paper so we can agree to it and know exactly what it is we're expecting to be the resolution to the problem. So right now, if they got some posts stuck in the ground or whatever it is, that's not really what we wanted. We wanted to see it on paper first, and like we approve any other construction type thing, and go from there. And so that's kind of where I'm at. I'd still like to see that. I still don't see where that's been done, and I think that's part of the problem that they're having of getting so many different comments and so much advice from different people to do this and do that, and they're confused. That's why they need to do it on paper. Need to do it on paper, get it approved, and so the plan is clear cut, and you can proceed on. And then some plans take longer than others, and if there's a time frame that needs to be attached to that plan, then we do that. You know, I mean, some projects take tens or hundreds of years to build, and I'm sure this one won't take that long, but everything's different. But we need to have the plan and the schedule on the paper to approve. That's my position anyway, versus just saying, oh, well, you got a good start, keep going. I don't think that's the way to go about this. So anyway, that's my comments for today.
Derek had to leave, but he had pictures that we could have showed of it, progress, what's being made to, that he took before we came here. Another thing I'd like to ask is, why this Jerza or whatever, does he even reside in Mitchell? I mean,
He can be on the planning commission, he meets the criteria for it.
Well, you know, he did say he went out there and visited the site, so, you know, that's probably more than what some other ones do, so.
I mean, but yeah, and I'm getting rid of all that crap down there, and besides what, I mean, is mine, but I have a scrap pile that's all loaded up, ready to go out. I mean, I got the two neighbors right here that, I mean, they can tell you that there's been progress. I mean, Denny sees right over it. Like you said, his house is, I'd say, probably 40 foot higher than, I mean, on top of the bank.
So this drawing here that you just gave us, you think that's sufficient what we need?
Well, I guess,
You think this is qualified for what we?
well, I mean, what do you want me to do?
Well, we asked you to, like Larry was just saying there, that we were expecting something on paper here that shows more than what you basically got. kind of like a detail item of certain things, because right now, we're just looking at something that, we probably have to use our imagination.
Mr. Chair, if you scroll down to that, where you had the red line all the way around the property.
Where'd that? This one?
No, next one, the one that shows the red line all the way around it.
Like the property.
That one right there. If you look where those red lines are. This guy here, Moody, there's already a fence here.
You're down.
You got one coming here. If that fence would come here, and all the way up here, I think what you're looking for is that drawing right there.
Yeah, but we don't have that, though, as you see that here, we don't.
I know, but I'm saying this is what it could be. If you would agree to put the fence down here, over here, when it's gotta be on this side of the road.
Right.
I don't know if this is right, but this is the right way here.
Oh, yeah, we'd do that. I mean,
The right of way should be either side of that, well, it'd be on this
It's a
side.
vacated right away.
Yeah, so if the fence would go here and all along here, this is where I live right here, and I look right down over this. If that fence would be here where we drive in and up here, I don't think this is applicable because nobody comes up that lake anyway, because it's a damn shallow, nobody can navigate it. This one would be up to the neighbor to the north.
and there is a fence already started,
There's something already here.
yeah.
So the only thing that would be exposed is here, and that's, nobody ever goes back there anyway.
Just to mow.
But I think you already got the drawing you need, it's a fence here, here, and here.
But you were talking about a 10-foot fence,
Yeah,
but, I mean, that doesn't mean that you could set stuff higher and higher, you know, so.
Well,
I mean, if it could be
I
an 8-foot
understand,
fence
I
or a
understand
6-foot
that.
fence. or-
That's where I think stipulations would have to be put on there by you as a commission to decide what that would be. He does have semi-trailers that you could also line that with to where, I don't know, where are they, 13 foot high?
Yeah, roughly. I mean, gotta be higher than 10 feet.
I'm not speaking for or against Mr. Frost. All I'm saying is that would satisfy my needs.
Right.
And
Well, we still don't have a timeline on when you're gonna put a fence to the north, you know. I understand you probably can't put all these fences in, especially before the winter time. But like, we don't have that in front of us, Josh.
I thought he put on that, if you go back to that other one, I thought he wrote on there fences. Like, I guess that's what he did. He had that where it says gate, fence already up front by the shop. And then it's squiggly line, and then where that red is, going,
Sure, it shows the fence, you know, you did that, but what's your timeline on that? When can we expect this done?
well, I'm about ready to hang tin on it. I mean,
Well,
I could have it,
We don't know that.
I guess I mean, I don't know how you want me to put it on paper, like, you want me to write it down, it'll be done?
That's what we asked in the beginning, did we not?
Okay, oh,
Okay, that's what we would like to do. We'd like to get you more detailed, more itemized. Just give us a lot of stuff what you're gonna do. Because this is a pretty good sized property, you got fairly amount of neighbors there that are upset about it, that want something done. And before we really can do it, we would like to see that. And we gave you that much time. I guess we'll have to discuss it as a
I mean-
board here, what we want to do, so.
I mean, I can write that down, I guess, on the fence, the rest of the fence there, why that didn't get drawn in is because, well, one, like when I talked to Wade about that damming up, you know, if it was, I didn't know if we could use that fence like Denny was talking about, you know, or if it had to be, because you guys kept saying like H&R, so that's steel. But, I mean, I just didn't want to dam up that back of his place over there and, I
Oh, you
mean,
talking Mr. Moody?
yeah.
Okay.
So, I mean,
But we're
If-
just kind of blind to what you're gonna, what's your timeline on that?
the fence, I mean, I could have that done this week.
Well,
That
yeah,
up-
we
that
want
up
we
top
want that
there.
put on, Josh,
Okay.
we want that on
Okay,
paper.
I will.
And write that out, a timeline, if you can get that done this week, please do that and give it to Mark,
Okay,
all right?
yes, I will.
Okay, thank you. Discussion?
Well, I wanted to take a brief moment to discuss the county's letter, and there does seem to be problems, and it comes up every once in a while regarding the extraterritorial jurisdiction, and how that is handled. And I think there are problems with that, and I don't think we can use this situation as an example and necessarily deny this because of the county's concern with that, but I do think we do need to come up with some kind of plan on how that's addressed, because it does seem, I don't know if inappropriate is the right word, that the city does have control over, zoning in those sections, but then can't provide any services to them or adjacent to them. Another situation somewhat similar was to the old Kelly property where, that would increase traffic along that county road, but yet it's not a city serviced road. So I do see concerns with that.
Jacob, the Kelly property is in the city. That's a joint.
The property itself is, the street in front of it is not.
It's a joint jurisdictional road.
Correct. So the city does not maintain the road in front of the Kelly property.
That's correct.
It's a joint jurisdictional road.
Okay. Regardless, I think there probably does need to be deeper discussion on that. That's not for today, though, and so I guess I see Jeff Baskey's concerns, but I don't think we should consider that as, in this decision. Otherwise, I agree, the plan, I mean, it shows certain locations, but for instance, privacy fence, there's a note saying privacy fence. I think we do need a better plan of, what's the height, what's the material type. You did mention tin today, which is fine. You've got these locations identified, impound lot, parking for trailers. Obviously this is an older image. I've got concerns that everything outside of those designated areas, will they ever get cleaned up? I don't know how we follow up on that or if that's necessary, but again. Okay. So it's just, I agree with John that we probably need a little more detailed plan, especially regarding fence.
So, do we need to extend this, give them a few more months, or Joe?
I guess it's up to the commission here what direction you want to go. It seems like the applicant's thrown out a few different options. He could provide more detail on that, or if the commission has direction that they'd like to see him go on any of those points, they could certainly put those conditions in place. Say, we need a 10-foot fence, material of your choosing, done by this date, and then if that's done, we'll approve it with those conditions, or you can bring it back to another meeting, whatever you're looking for. You can also have him provide, though, that detailed plan over the next week, and then have that presented to the Board of Adjustment next week when they make their decision on it, too. It's just a matter of which direction you want to go. Do you want it to have to come back to this board if he's able to provide that stuff to Board of Adjustment? What kind of guidance and what kind of input does this commission want on those issues?
So, Josh, can you get that done in a week for the next meeting for the city council, for the Board of Adjustments?
What's that?
Can you get all that done? The drawings and the detailed items and timelines and all that, can you get that done next week
Yeah,
for the city council?
yeah.
And
I
ju-
guess, is that, like Danny wants, is that okay?
I have no issue with.
I have no, a fence is a fence, and if you do something like Cromer does, it does, I mean, you do have the wind going through it a little bit, and it blocks the site, and Denny's the one that's gonna look for it, and he's the one that said that would be all right, you know?
Well, the thing, if he puts solid tin up there, it's not gonna hold the
No.
window blown over anyway.
And it's gonna almost look like a Cali or two when you put the solid fence, and I agree with you there.
So that's.
A
the-
chain link fence, 10 foot high is getting awful high, you
Well,
know?
this is just the mesh part that I'd run a cable on it, attach it to the cable, so that it'd be the same.
Well, I'm more looking at a chain link fence is what I'm looking at, like Cromer's there, when they got those little slats in there.
Well, this is a mesh deal that covers it, it does the same deal. It's just, they put it on the chain link fence along the side of it or whatever.
Oh,
So I guess what I'm hearing is that it sounds like the commission is okay with a 10-foot fence, but they'd like to see more detail on how that's going to be constructed, what it's going to be constructed about, and when it's going to be done.
that's what we're looking for.
Yeah, I'll get that done, I'll get it. the material.
Show where all those fences are, the height of it, the corners of it and all that, so that the Board of Adjustments on the next meeting, next Monday night, is that correct? They can see that and then they can go with that.
Okay, and I'll have some updated photos too, so.
The more you give them, the better you are.
Okay.
Thanks, John. Thanks, Danny.
Is there any permits or anything that you need for 10-foot fence?
No, we do not.
The thing you might need to do is get locates done, because
Yeah, over
there
on
could be, I don't. That main water line, I think, is up higher, but I don't know that for
Yeah,
a
on that
fact.
south side, on that.
Yeah.
Well, I think all we need to do is get a motion to,
A lot of this sounded like it was discussion for the open storage, none of the auto business at all. Because it's two different conditional uses, you have to remember that.
oh, that's right.
Which is good that you just talked about one and not both, but don't forget there are two different motions that would need to be made for this.
Well, I think he gets us cleaned up and all that. I don't have a problem with the business automotive part. Of course, once he's get the fences up there, he's kind of confined in there and I mean, right now, I mean, there was a business there at one time, the way it looks, so. But,
Well, the thing to remember, there's 3 or 4 neighbors to the north that also have businesses. One's trucking and one's construction.
right. And I guess the neighbors could have came here if they came to the meeting here to
They had any other
express their
concerns?
concerns, and I don't see much
So
except.
I can't, Mr. Chair, I can't speak for the other neighbors, but I can speak for my son. Neither one of us really have a problem with the toll business.
Okay,
I mean, we already got a business just down the road at the Kelly place, so, but, you know, that's
thank you
fine.
for your input. Okay. All right.
Well, I'll make a motion to approve the conditional use permit for the automotive sales, repair, and detailing.
Now, we got to do two of them here, so we're going to do the automotive first. All right, so we got a motion on the table for the automotive business. Do I hear a second?
Any conditions on that before we get a second?
I don't have any additional conditions for that particular portion.
For the automotive part? As long as he runs that as a business, I guess that's. Larry, are you still there?
Yeah, I'm there.
Okay. Who else we got online? Stratton, is he online?
I'm here.
Okay. Well, I guess if I don't hear a second, I'll second the motion there, just to make it positive, so. So we got first and a second. Let's do a roll call.
Sonny,
Yes.
Havlet,
Yes.
Jers,
No.
Osterloo.
Yes.
Motion carried for the automotive portion. Now, outside storage.
All right, the outside storage, we need, this one, we might have to have conditions on it, and I don't know how many conditions we want.
Well, from what I've heard from you guys, what I would say a motion could be, because I'm not gonna tell you what your motion should be. Make it just like your last one that you did at the last meeting. Motion to approve, because we always like the positive, with the condition that they produce a written plan on paper for the materials on site, the location of where the materials will be placed, fence location and type, and also schedule for when all the work will be cleaned up and organized to Board of Adjustment. That way, it's at that meeting, it's not coming back to this board again, but that would be the motion to do, if you so choose.
Need a motion on that? Just what he said?
I'll make that.
Yeah, I'll make a motion on
Okay.
that.
I'll second.
Yeah, roll call.
Sonny,
Yes.
Havlet,
No.
Jerza,
Yes.
Osterloo.
Yes.
Motion carried for that one as well. Board of Adjustment.
So this, John, you'll probably see this in your next meeting and that, so. All right, now we got that done. We'll go to the next item is rezone hearing and recommendation, Hackberry Holdings LLC. Hackberry Holdings LLC is requesting the following property legally described as south one half of the east half of Square 7, lots 10 through 12, Square 7. Weaver Squares addition, City of Mitchell, Davidson County, South Dakota, to be changed from R3 medium density residential districts to highway business, and the official zoning map be changed to reflect the same.
Notice was sent out to the neighbors, published in the paper. There's one response that was returned in favor. The applicants are looking to build another cold storage building. It would be going across the lot lines that you can see on the zoning area, so that's why they were requesting that rezone. This block has actually kind of been back and forth between R3 and HB multiple different times from when I went back through all the minutes. It is contiguous. That's the reason for why they're wanting to rezone it. They were trying to get rid of all the semis that they had there, but they just got so much product that they had to get more semis in, so now they want to build a shed, so that way they can try and get rid of some of the semis.
Discussion?
Sounds to me like they're looking to clean up. I'd be in favor of that. And it's not spot zoning because the adjacent is already.
And there's metal buildings around it, storage. No further discussion, need a motion? To, let's see, is it just rezoning, right?
Yep.
Okay, we need a motion to rezone this.
I'll make a motion, Jerza.
Second.
Okay, we got first and second, roll call.
Yes.
Havlet,
Yes.
Jerza,
Yes.
Osterloo.
Yes.
Motion carried.
Okay, well, no one's in the audience for that, okay. Last one here, the plan approval for Mega Wash, 601 East Spruce Street, zone highway business.
They are looking to do an addition on the west side of their property. In the plan, you can see what they are looking to add on to. It's another wash bay. Because it's highway business, it comes in front of this board for plan approval. You can see the existing building that they have. It's just going to be replicated of that, just moving hold another wall out to the west side of it. It's already asphalted in that area. Drainage shouldn't be affected because of that. Can answer any questions that you have, or John can answer any questions you have for the building portion of it.
Discussion?
Pretty simple.
That looks good to me. Need a motion?
Make a motion to approve, Jerza?
I'll second that.
Okay, we got a first and second. Roll call, Mark.
Sonny,
Yes.
Havlet. Stretch.
Yes.
Oscar, Jerza.
Yes.
Osterloo.
Yes.
Motion carried.
Okay, so is any other business
Um,
for us?
As a reminder, tomorrow at 2 o'clock is the planning and zoning for the public to come in, and any 3 of you to come in to sit there and listen if you so choose. Public input.
I think Kevin said he was,
Probably, he thought he might be able to.
I'm gone, so I can't.
I should be available for that.
The two be enough.
Yeah, oh, yeah, it's public input,
Yeah,
just,
but you said something, we don't want more than.
right, we don't want a quorum at it, yep,
Okay, so,
And that'll be here.
yep, yep.
all right, so we got that taken care of. So we got public input. If you need to address the board on an item that was not on the agenda, excluding personal items, please come forward to the podium and state your name and your concern. Presentations are limited to 3 minutes. Items will be considered, but no action will be taken at this time. See no one coming? We're adjourned.